Yep.
Good evening, everyone. At this time, I'll call to order the regularly scheduled board meeting for the Village of Midlothian, Wednesday, December 11th, 2024, at 7 p.m. Roll call, please. Clerk Mosky.
Trustee Burbett?
Here.
Trustee Caveney?
Here.
Trustee Crowley?
Here.
Trustee Hilly?
Here.
Trustee Johnson?
Here.
Trustee Killily?
Here.
Mayor LaRue?
Here.
You have a quorum, sir.
Thank you, sir. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. And I'd like for tonight's moment of silence to be for Oak Park Detective Alan Reddens, who tragically lost his life 2 weeks ago.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Before we move on to the meeting, we have the pleasure of swearing in a full-time probationary police officer, Cody Gribben. Can you step forward, please?
Congratulations. Thank you. Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
Cody Gribben,
Having been appointed
having been appointed
to the position
to the position
of probationary full-time police officer
of probationary full-time police officer
in the Village of Midlothian,
in the Village of Midlothian,
in the County of Cook,
in the County of Cook,
aforesaid do solemnly swear
aforesaid do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the ordinances of the Village of Midlothian,
and the ordinances of the Village of Midlothian,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
of the position
of the position
of probationary full-time police officer
of probationary full-time police officer
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Thank you, sir. Okay.
Corey? Oh, you got someone with an opinion?
Yes, Jackie.
Congratulations.
Thank you, sir. Nice to meet you.
It's a little warm in here.
Feels great.
Come on, Chief. One more, if you don't mind. No?
Good. Thank you, sir.
Welcome aboard.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome aboard, Officer Gribben. We're pleased to have you. If you only came here for that swearing in, you're obviously free to go. Sure.
Yes.
Where are you going? Thank you.
Congratulations.
Hmm?
Is it from hometown? There's two hometowns, that comes outside.
Must be. All right, we'll move on. Good night, everyone. Move on to today's business. First, we'll open the floor to public comment. Is there any public comment tonight? Seeing there's no public comment, close the floor to public comment. Move on to tonight's consent agenda. On tonight's consent agenda, number 1, approval of ordinance 2158 for the levying and assessment of taxes for the fiscal year beginning May 1st, 2024 and ending April 30th, 2025. Number 2, approval of the November 2024 Administration Department monthly report. Number 3, approval of the November 2024 Building Department monthly report. Number 4, approval of the November 2024 Fire Department monthly report. Number 5, approval of the November 2024 Police Department monthly report. Number 6, approval of the November 2024 Public Works Department monthly report. And number 7, approval of the November 2024 Treasurer's monthly report. Number 8, approval of the November 13th, 2024 board meeting minutes. Number 9, approval of the November 20th, 2024 committee meeting minutes. Number 10, approval of the November 2024 closed session meeting minutes. Number 11, approval of the November 27th, 2024 board meeting minutes. And number 12, approval of the list of bills. Is any item any trustee would like off of tonight's consent agenda? Hearing no objection, I'll look for a motion to approve tonight's consent agenda as read.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please, Clerk Moss.
Trustee Crowley.
Aye.
Trustee Caveney.
Aye.
Trustee Burbett.
Aye.
Trustee Hilly.
Aye.
Trustee Johnson.
Aye.
Trustee Killily.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you, sir. Moving on to trustee business, trustee Johnson.
Thank you, Mayor. I'd just like to make everybody aware that, again, the events committee with Village Midlothian is helping to sponsor the home decorating contest for this year for the holiday lights. This year, no registration is required, and just to let you know how it's going to work, during the week of December 16th, there'll be a panel of judges that's going to go around every block in Midlothian, and they're going to check out everybody's house. And then they're going to have some categories for winners. Best overall, most traditional, people's choice, a fire department choice, and a police department choice. And again, the police department and the fire department in the village will be selecting their favorite house. So you can still have time to decorate your house, and next week they'll be coming through looking at every block. So Midlothian always does a nice job in terms of everybody decorating their houses. So encourage everybody to do it. And those winners will receive a $100 gift card to any business here in Midlothian, and the Village of Midlothian's Events Committee is sponsoring that. So that's all I have tonight.
Thank you, ma'am. Trustee Burbett.
Just looking to make a motion to approve the award of the contract for KLF Enterprises in the amount of $69,812.50 for the 14701 Comar demolition and site improvement project.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please, Clerk Moss.
Trustee Burbett.
Aye.
Trustee Crowley.
Aye.
Trustee Caveney.
Aye.
Trustee Hilly.
Aye.
Trustee Johnson.
Aye.
Trustee Killily.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you, sir. Anything else tonight?
That's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you, sir. Trustee Hilly. Thank you, sir. Trustee Cavey.
Thank you, Mayor. First thing I'd like to do is make the motion to approve. Oh, I'm sorry, this is for review. I apologize, getting ahead of myself. On the agenda is the ordinance, the draft ordinance, Exhibit A and Exhibit B for Mr. C's Auto Mart. They had applied for a special use to operate a used car dealership and for a variance due to the smaller size of the lot. The village code requires car sales lots to be 50,000 square feet. This lot is approximately 10,000 square feet, but this business has been in existence for the last 40 years. So the applicant also requested a variance for the lot size. As I discussed at the last last meeting I was at in November, the zoning board had their meeting and they recommended in favor of bringing this to the board for their approval. So I'm presenting this to you tonight if you have any questions. If not, I will put it on next week's agenda for board vote. Does anybody have any questions? No?
I do.
Yes.
I do.
Which
So-
document you're looking at?
The, oh Lord, I don't know what page this is. Where the conditions are.
yes, okay.
Yeah.
All right, good. So, here we go. So they're not cannot offload vehicles on 147th, which there isn't many anyway. But where do they offload them?
They have to turn the corner and offload them on the side street. That was one of the things that we discussed at the last meeting when I brought it up to the board, was we didn't want them offloading the cars on 147th Street.
So they can't use the side street when they're offloading cars?
No, that's where they have to use. They have to use the side street to offload.
No, I know,
cars.
but then other people can't use the side street.
Well, I don't think
It won't
offloading takes
impair
that
the-
long.
it won't
I mean, they
be-
don't have that many cars to offload from the first
Well,
place.
Plus, there's like a curb area. so-
Right.
Oh, so like on the Parkway?
Yeah.
Yes, and it's
Okay.
a lot
Okay,
deeper
all
than
right.
you think, so they
Yeah.
can actually pull forward.
Their
some.
parkway area is pretty wide, so they can pull over into the
Oh,
parkway
okay,
area
all right,
to offload
great.
them.
Cars Inc. and Drive Time does that. I mean.
Okay, and they
go
get
through
a
of
lot from the
cars.
auction anyway, that are driven over and delivered.
Sure.
Landscape features, I've never seen that on another, flower boxes is required by the village. I've never seen that on another special use ever. I don't, where did that come from? I mean, I'm not that I'm of course against flower boxes, but I don't know if we should just single them out and say, you have to have flower boxes. Nobody else does.
Well, I'm not necessarily, we're not singling them out. We asked them if they would add something to the property to liven it up a little bit, because there's not one piece of green on that property. It's all brick and
Yeah.
asphalt.
Where's,
So
they're going to the.
we just asked them if they would put some flower boxes near the building. They're not gonna
Yeah.
go by the street.
If I may,
Yes.
the village has a history now of waiving and providing variances for the landscaping code within the Village of Midlothian Village Code. And since this is a grandfathered-in issue, if it had been built today, even as a 10,000, there would have been landscaping requirements.
Right.
There would have been landscaping?
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay, all
there's
right.
landscaping requirements.
Okay.
Thank you.
And
Attorney
it
Dowd.
prevents them from putting the cars
All the way
all
to
the
the sidewalk.
street, so.
Okay,
And-
so it's
and
going to be
they-
in the
and
front.
they- This business has been very, very good about not pulling their vehicles all the way up to
Yes.
the sidewalk. I mean, there still is a little bit of a visual issue when you're at the side street and looking to the left to pull out on 147th Street. But they've agreed to work with the village and push the cars back a little bit. But yeah, their cars definitely, they're right now, they're probably about 2 feet off the sidewalk,
Okay.
so.
This is yours. Property tax. If there are arrears in property tax, should we have a provision that they don't have the special use? That's what you,
Is that not in there?
that's not in there.
Okay, then we should add that in there then. Okay, I will ask Attorney Murphy if he will make the revision.
Okay.
So they are required to remain current with their property taxes, or else the village can revoke their special use.
Yes. Some of the other special uses for car dealers, they do have stipulations as far as prices of vehicles sold.
I believe that's already village ordinance. I don't think we have to put that in a special use.
It's not in the village ordinance.
I thought that was part of the village ordinance or zoning code, that cars had to be,
A certain price
that they
point?
had to be, they couldn't sell vehicles less than $3,000 or $3,500.
My recollection is that it's always been a term of a special use, but I don't know if it's in the
I don't
village
think it's
code.
in
I don't know that it is, yeah. But
We
we've
can
always.
add that to it.
Is
we've
it
always-
3,000 or 3,500? I don't know what the threshold is.
Minimum,
Yeah, what's the minimum sale price of a vehicle? I don't know.
it's higher than that, right?
No,
Yeah, it is.
no, it was $3,000. I remember it was either 3,000
Well,
or
it was,
3,500.
it was a long time ago,
No.
but I think we should revisit that and come up with a more current. And I think they had a percentage of vehicles that couldn't be under a certain amount, certain price point. The minimum and also a certain percentage of vehicles could not be under a certain price point. I think that's,
Well, I'm not aware of any of that language. This is my first car dealership. So,
well, I know the one there's one we did a special use for in the fall that has that language in it already, in their special use.
which one?
147, cars 147, they had that.
Yes.
They had that in their special use. And I think it should be updated to be a little more current, too.
Well, what about the former Burger King? Didn't we put some stipulations in there?
Yes, well,
He
because
doesn't
that's
need a
what.
special use.
No,
Oh, that's right, he doesn't.
We're talking about special conditions for
Right,
incentives.
that's why I'm saying, I thought that the sale price of vehicles was already established in the village code somewhere, because if any car sales lot in town requires a special use. We're making that a condition of their special use. What about the car sales lots that don't require a special use? What's their requirement?
Well, I know that when, the one that we used was the one over on 147th Street that was done, that we had to, this was some years ago,
Yes.
but we had to approve the special use and there was a minimum standard in it, so.
Right,
I don't know.
but again, my point is, and I'm not disagreeing that we should have a minimum standard, I'm fully in favor of it. But if we're going to require, any car dealership that is in a village zoned area that requires a special use, and we're gonna make it a condition of special use, then we need to change our ordinance so that in the ordinance, all car dealerships have to have that minimum requirement, because otherwise,
I don't disagree, Kathy. I think the difference is, there's a reason why it's a special use. There's, you know, there's some reason that we have some of these as special uses, so we put stricter conditions on it
Right.
because of that.
but as far as car dealerships go, I don't know, Sandy, I don't know why car dealerships require a special use in some zoned areas and not others. I have no idea. I don't know why that is.
It's the zoning code.
Right, I know it's the zoning code.
Oh, you mean
but
the
what
rationale-
zoning
the
code-
rationale behind it?
What's the rationale?
Yeah.
I don't know what the rationale is in the zoning code.
Probably to
Why
keep-
why some zoned areas don't need a special use for a car lot and some zoned areas do need it.
Well, from reviewing the village code, the zoning code, some car lots are in areas in which they don't have mixed uses within it, and they're bordering on residential areas, and essentially in residential areas, those obviously are going to need special uses, while others may be on Cicero Avenue, right next to other establishments. So that's the
Right.
criteria
But-
for it.
But my point is, if we're gonna require special use car lots to have a minimum standard of, you have to have your property taxes need to be paid in full, and you have to have, you know, your least expensive vehicle can be $3,500, shouldn't we have that same requirement on all car dealerships?
I don't think anyone disagrees with that, but I think 3,500, what can you
That's
get
too
for
low.
3,500?
Oh, yeah. Well, I think you have to look at that. I think if you're saying that to get a license for your business, for your car dealer, you have to have the certain array
Well,
of cars, sure.
I don't wanna hold up this particular
No.
transaction, so
Right.
what do you want me to put in the ordinance? 3,500,
No,
4,000?
we want to look at what Cars 147 has and sort of look at the same.
I think I can
idea.
get you that before the end of the meeting, so.
Okay,
Okay.
great. And then they need a fire alarm. How long do they have to get the fire alarm?
I think we're gonna give them 6 months.
6 months to get a fire alarm?
Well,
How long is it taking Honda?
Pardon
how
me?
long does it take in the
The old
bank?
Honda building. Their big problem is trying to get a fire.
Sprinkler.
Sprinkler.
Sprinkler,
They gotta
it's
get
not a fire alarm.
system.
They don't
Yeah.
need a sprinkler
These guys only
system.
need a fire
Fire
alarm
alarm.
system.
Oh. All they need is, I mean, how long,
I don't think it's 6 months, so unfortunately, Chief Hotwagner's not here.
oh, fine, okay, with advice of the fire
Well,
department,
what-
okay.
If you want me to put a date, if you wanted me to give them a certain number of days, what would you recommend, 90 days? Is 90 days
90, I
enough?
think 90 would be
90.
more than doable.
Okay, keep in mind, I shared a list, speaking of fire alarms, I shared a list of businesses with the mayor and Superintendent Ganaka and the fire chief of businesses that do not still have fire alarms in the village. So the village needs to, building and fire needs some direction from the board as to how we're gonna deal with that, particularly the bank. The bank's been on notice, they signed off on a document stating that they acknowledge they're gonna get a fire alarm, and for a year and a half they have it, and now they're refusing. Okay,
There's gonna be a letter going to there's gonna be a letter going to that business.
all right, so revisions to the ordinance will include 3 things. They have to have a minimum sales price of X, which Attorney Valadez will provide for us. Their property taxes need to be paid in full, or the village can rescind their special use, and they have to get their fire alarm in 90 days.
I think that's fair.
Trustee, if you want to email me that, I will make sure that that gets in.
Pardon me?
They always approved that it was 90 days to apply for the permit.
Within 90 days? Okay. So does anybody else have any other questions or issues with the special use? Okay, I'll get that information emailed over to Attorney Valadez and to Attorney Murphy. Okay. Next couple of items I have very quickly. First, I would like to thank Public Works and a group of 10 groups for decorating the Rain Ready Community Garden and decorating the Christmas trees. They all turned out very, very nice. So those folks include Delcine Liddy and Darius Lugo, their residents, the Central Park Parents Group, their leader is Monica Villalobos, I just lost the name of the school. What's the name of our school in Crestwood?
Colmar?
Colmar, thank you, I almost said spelling. Colmar School, Midlothian Historical Society, Midlothian Beautification Committee, Midlothian Events Committee, the Fire Department, Administration Department, Public Works Department, and Building Department. So again, I'd like to thank all of you for your hard work and dedication and decorating the rain garden. Also, I'd like to give a special shout out to the Beautification Committee on their decorations at the Village Green. It's really beautiful. I stepped over there yesterday. They did a very, very nice job. On the economic development front, I'm happy to announce that there is a new development that's going in at 144th and Cicero. And on that newly developed property, there will be 2 different retail buildings. One will be a small strip center that could be a single tenant building, or I think it could hold up to maybe 3 or 4 tenants. And the other building is going to be a freestanding Starbucks. So we do have a Starbucks coming to Midlothian. I don't know the timing yet, I know that the developer's in the process right now of finalizing their civil plans and their building plans, and so stay tuned. As soon as we have a date, as soon as I know when they can apply for building permits, we'll let everybody know. The building department is working right now on 3 abandonment cases for 3 residential properties in town, and our outside counsel is in the process of pulling titles on all 3 of those buildings, and we'll be getting the required notices out. And we're hoping that by the end of January, beginning of February, that the abandonment applications will be able to be submitted to the court. I do have one question. I'm not sure who knows this, if it's Public Works or police. I had a resident reach out to me today, curious to know, is there a maximum commercial truck size, maximum size and weight limit for trucks to travel on village streets?
The answer is yes.
Okay, someone tell me what that is.
Can you just forward
It
it to
depends.
Jim?
Trucking code, I don't remember all of the trucking code offhand, but if they do exceed what the maximum level is, they need a permit to do such. And they keep going with that here. The trucking code is pretty complex.
Yeah.
We had an officer go through truck enforcement officer support right now, and it's very complex in order to enforce the property too, not just do basic fine.
So if they have trucks that are too big, they can actually get a permit and get permission to drive an oversized truck on our village streets? What if the trucks ruin our streets?
So you're talking about the side streets?
Yeah.
No,
Talking about,
it's
right,
not.
in a residential area, I'm
Only time
sorry.
a truck
Oh,
is-
right, yeah.
Go into the residential areas
Uh-huh.
is if he's making a delivery, he has X amount of miles off of his route to get to the business, which I can't think of anything that we have, so. Not- But I can't think of too many businesses that would have,
No, there's one over on Waverly,
that need for.
at 143rd and Waverly. And that, the neighbor lives in that neighborhood, and the neighbor inquired because of deliveries, so I'll send you emails tomorrow. And I believe I reserve the right to raise my hand later, Mayor, but I believe that's all I have at the moment.
Well, welcome back,
Thank you.
and glad to have you back. And thank you. Trustee Kilby.
Thank you, Mayor. Well, I want to echo Trustee Cagney's comment. I would like to thank the beautification committee. It's a lot of work doing what they're doing. You know, Mike and Jean Bartecki did a fantastic job with the green, with the help of the rest of the committee, but the rest of the committee has to do a lot of decorations, too, a lot of time put in bad weather. Very, very dedicated group. It's just, we're just so lucky to have them. And they do just a terrific job for the Christmas decorations and with the flowers. They just put a ton of work in during the year, and it's, you know, under the radar a little bit, but wow, we're just so lucky to have them. And I was just really happy to see, after the parade, to see Santa Claus stay around. A lot of people stayed around to take pictures with Santa Claus and Mrs. Claus. A lot. There was a line for a lot of the night. So that was a great idea, and I'm glad that the chamber could accommodate us.
The gazebo is a beautiful photo op. If no one's been out there yet, I would really highly suggest you go. It's really, really pretty.
Right. Yeah, that's where they were. It just worked out pretty well, and the fire department provided hot chocolate and cookies, and it was just a great night. So thanks to everyone that helped make that happen. And that's all, Mayor.
Thank you, sir. I believe Santa was having a very good time that night as well. So he appeared to be very jolly.
Well, I hope so.
Anyways, that's why I'm not a comedian. Trustee Crowley.
Thank you, sir. Just a couple things. Well, I will mimic what Trustee Cavey and Trustee Killelly said. The greens looked absolutely beautiful. When they lit up and all the lights went on, it was like being in a winter wonderland. It was absolutely amazing. Beautification job. Our committee did a fantastic job. And then I just have a couple other things, sir. We are in the last few days of our toy drive and Secret Santa. We will be picking up all of our boxes and delivering on Friday, and all toys will be delivered on Saturday. There's still time. You can still order from our Amazon wish list, or look at one of our or donate to one of our boxes, and the lists are online or on the village website. And then I also sent out earlier today the RFP for the streetscaping. I'll be having that on the agenda after the first of the year for approval. I just wanted to give everybody as much time as possible to review it and see if they had any questions. And this will include this will be paid for out of TIF funds, and we will be doing a RFP to beautify and make and do some upgrades to our downtown district to entice businesses and just make it a lot more appealing. So if anybody has any questions or comments, please feel free to reach out to me. Otherwise, we'll be discussing this after the first of the year. And that's all I have to say, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Moving on to department heads, Chief Delaney.
Yes, sir. Dampen the mood when everyone's talking about how great those greens look, and they did. But as most of you are aware, earlier in the week in overnight hours, we had a group of individuals break and demolish some of the Christmas decorations that were out there. Had the investigators look into it. They located the car that was used today, took one of the subjects into custody. The other two offenders have been identified, and we'll be arresting them soon as well. So we can make everything they said. As soon as you guys flip the lights on, that was the most amazing I've ever seen it. So it's a shame that somebody decided to ruin that, but they will be held accountable, and we'll get those charges as soon as possible. That's all I have to say.
Thank you, Chief. Well done. Superintendent Ganat.
Just two things. Looking to adopt the 2024 building code, the ICC building code. It's going to take some changing of some ordinances for the adoption. So we're going to need to get the 2024 books. I do have pricing, we do have it in our budget to get the 2024 books so that we can change ordinances. We're going to have to dig deep and look into doing the changes on those. So first off, I'm just going to need to get approval even though we do have the money in the budget to get the stack of books that we're gonna need. It's gonna be 12 books in all. Pricing I do have here, I can give that to all the members tonight, board members. They can look it over, and we'll look for approval probably for next week.
We can get that on the agenda for approval next week.
Yes.
Next.
The softcover books that we're looking, you can go ahead and tell them the price.
Well, the price on this is about $1,170. Normal price, if we don't buy them in a package, is about $1,570. So we'll be saving somewhere around $1,000 if we buy them in a package. That's what we're looking at.
Okay.
Is there any part of the code that we'll be opting out of?
Very possibly. We do have some ordinances that opt out of some of those codes.
Right.
And some that we have modified to adopt for Midlothians.
Right.
And that's why we need the books to go over them, so that we can change the ordinances and such. That's all I have.
Thank you, sir. Superintendent Swanson.
Yes, sir, just a few things. I'd just like to remind all our residents that wintertime is our busy season for Public Works. We've already had 6 water main breaks in a week and a half. I'd like to remind our residents to be patient and cooperate as much as possible. Also, with the snow coming this season, we've got to remind everyone that after 2 inches or more of snow is on the ground, you're not allowed to park on the streets. So, again, please be patient. We're trying our best. That's all I have, sir.
Thank you, sir. In your plate?
Thank you, Mayor. I have no report tonight.
Well, thank you for coming. Deputy Clerk Harris.
I have nothing tonight, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Director Redmond.
No report tonight, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Attorney Bell.
I just want to let the board know that I haven't forgotten that the village board needs to take action to replace the revenue that was lost when the state legislature eliminated the tax on groceries. I have drafted an ordinance. It has to be passed by April, so we have lots of time, but.
Did you see the one I sent you a couple months ago?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So it'll be forthcoming. In order for it to go into effect, the earliest it can go into effect is July of 2026. So we will have that ready to go well before April. That's it.
Then you have a closed session today.
Closed session, yes, for property matters.
Okay. Thanks, sir. Under my business, first item is I'm looking for a motion to approve ordinance 2159 and ordinance opting out of the requirements of the Cook County paid leave ordinance in the village of Midlothian.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please. Clerk Masker.
Trustee Crowley.
Aye.
Trustee Johnson.
Aye.
Trustee Burbatt.
Aye.
Trustee Caveney.
Aye.
Trustee Hilly.
Aye.
Trustee Killily.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you, sir. At this time, I'm looking for a motion to approve the appointment of Jacob Conway to the Plan Commission and the Zoning Board of Appeals.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please. Clerk Masker.
Trustee Killily.
Aye.
Trustee Hilly.
Aye.
Trustee Burbatt.
Aye.
Trustee Caveney.
Aye.
Trustee Crowley.
Aye.
Trustee Johnson.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. And I also want to say the same thing and more, that it was fantastic with beautification committee, Mike and Jean in particular, what they've done with the village green. I'm with you, Chief. It was just, having Santa help me light the lights and all come on at one time, and it was just fantastic. And a huge thank you to Public Works. You guys, Caesar did a fantastic job with the timing. So. One last thing, I'm looking for show of hands, who could actually make a village meeting that was scheduled for Christmas Day? No one?
No one.
New Year's Day? No one?
No one.
So then we will be putting it out there that those meetings will be canceled due to a lack of quorum.
Just some housekeeping stuff. If each board member could articulate that they will not be attending on Christmas and New Year's Eve.
Want me to start over here?
Sure.
I will not be attending on Christmas Day or Christmas Eve, or Christmas New Year's Day.
I cannot attend either of those days.
I will not be here either of those days.
I will not be here either day.
Okay, that's enough.
That's all.
I will not be here either day.
I won't be here either.
Okay, and I won't be here either, so. All right, those meetings will be canceled due to lack of quorum, so just had to do the housekeeping. All right, that is all I have tonight. Clerk Mosco.
Just a couple of things. Due to recent information, we will be canceling the December 25th and January 1st
And there's your
So
announcement.
that's good.
Now it's official.
Now it's official. The clerk's office also received a permit application request for the use of the village green on April 20th from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. It was signed by Mr. Jason Decker, and he's agreed to all the terms and conditions. Does anyone on the board have any concerns? If not, Deputy Clerk Harris will send him a letter indicating our approval,
April 20th,
April 20th.
4/20?
Yes. It happens to be Easter Sunday as well, I believe. So,
Okay, thank you.
and then lastly, just a reminder to the board to please refrain from posting or attaching non-PDF documents to board docs. It's not possible for people to read them on their phones. So if you're in Word or Excel, please save it as a PDF before you attach it. And that's all I have.
Thank you, sir. Then at this time, I'm looking for a motion to adjourn to closed session to discuss the purchase or lease of real property for the use of the public body, including,
Make the motion?
hold on, is that
I'll
right? Is that the right statute?
What's that?
To discuss the purchase or lease of real property for the use of the public body. Okay, you make a motion?
Yep.
Second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? We are in closed session. There's no further business following closed session.